The International Monetary Fund cut its growth forecast for the U.S. economy for the rest of this year to a rate of just 2%. That's down from 2.8%. But in a real surprise, it also suggested that the U.S. start paying its lowest-earning workers higher wages. Steve Leisman has the story.
The International Monetary Fund taking an unusual step today and wading into a heated American political debate. In its annual review of the U.S. economy, the IMF outright supported raising the U.S. minimum wage, saying it would have a significant impact on reducing poverty.
We're talking about significant numbers. You know, when you have 50 million people living below poverty level, many of whom are actually working people, not people who are just not doing anything. That's why we are recommending it. Now, as to give you a number, is it 10.10? This is something that needs to be decided by the legislators, clearly.
The IMF often steers clear of such contentious economic issues, especially in the U.S., which is the fund's biggest shareholder. But the IMF says the U.S. has the third lowest minimum wage among industrialized countries. Hiking it, along with expanding the Earned Income Tax Credit, which the IMF also recommended, could help lift millions of Americans out of poverty, even though it could reduce total jobs.
Certainly, there is an employment trade-off. This Congressional Budget Office recently has done a report that estimates the loss of jobs around 500,000. But at the same time, they also note that 16 million people who are currently in low-income status would have higher incomes as a result of a higher minimum wage.
On overall growth, the IMF slashed its outlook for GDP for this year to 2% from 2.8% because of the weak first quarter and severe winter weather. But it continued to forecast a second-half rebound and strong growth of 3% next year. It also expressed concern about significant market swings because there's too much certainty about interest rates on the Fed and the market. The fund sees the outlook as more uncertain than the market. Still, the IMF said inflation will remain calm for years to come, and the Fed could even keep its zero interest rate policy in place beyond 2015. Full employment in the U.S.? Not until 2017, says the IMF. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Steve Leisman.